Hey everybody, Silver Skull Gamer here, and we're painting my Land Raider Ares or Typhon conversion. I think this model could easily be one or the other. Um, Starting with a Vallejo gray primer, and really only need to use the gray primer on the areas that are going to be yellow for this paint scheme. I kind of start all over, but I really only needed the primer on like I said, the areas that are going to be yellow. The rest of it's going to be sprayed in black primer. So I'm just trying to get all the areas that are going to be painted yellow and then masked over later. I'm trying to get a good coat so we get that nice yellow color. And I actually found a better recipe for yellow after I painted this, but you'll see that in another video. Here's the converted dozer blade that's been widened and covered in plastic card. You can see from the back where the white plastic card and then the gray resin from the original Puppets War dozer blade is. That was quite the task for me. Really tested my converting skill, and it didn't turn out completely symmetrical, but you know, I went with it. Here I'm using gray primer on the extra armor bits, kind of the reactive armor plates on the side armor, because those are going to be yellow. And now we're painting the Vallejo Game Color Sun Yellow all over the dozer blade. Then we'll use the masking tape later to make the stripes, hazard stripes. I actually found later that using Vallejo Model Air US Interior Yellow first makes a better yellow, because most yellow paints are very transparent, so it's kind of hard to get a real good coat of yellow. Using Sun Yellow again on the small parts and areas that are going to be yellow on the main battle tank here, or the Land Raider. And you can see those white plastic card. That's actually 3 strips glued together. I think it's like 1/16 thick plastic card strips, and they're just glued together, three a piece, to make my mounting brackets for this side armor that you see here. Now here I'm masking off all the yellow bits with Tamiya masking tape. And always make sure that you allow plenty of dry time before you try to put tape on. Otherwise it'll pull the wet paint will adhere to the tape more than the plastic, and then when you pull it off, you'll pull your paint off, so that's never fun. And they're just cutting the tape down, and we start with our Vallejo black primer and just go over the whole door and really try to make sure I get the black paint and the crevices between the tape and then the other edges, which you'll see later on. And at first I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the doors, so I didn't cover it right away with black paint, and then I decided I'd just paint the whole thing black. So then I go back over it. So I'm trying to get in all cracks and crevices at every angle. There's a lot of edges on these side armor pieces. There you can see I've put masking tape on all the yellow areas on the main Land Raider body, and then I start with a black primer again. Just cover the whole thing, which is quite a lot. And the dozer blade was masked off earlier, and then we're once again covering it with black primer. Unfortunately, I do get a little edge bleeding on one of the stripes, which probably be able to see it later if you pay real close attention. It's the top left stripe, the top edge does bleed slightly. I'm not sure if I'm going to fix it, or maybe I'll just try to hide it with some weathering and battle damage. Alright, here I'm doing a little highlighting with Vallejo Model Air German Gray. It's a real dark gray. I used it on my Vindicator with a Big Mama cannon. On the side armor, you can see the little strips, the raised strips, and I thought trying to highlight those with the airbrush, I wasn't sure how to do that. So what I ended up doing is actually highlighting the flat spaces, basically using the inside edge of the armor strips. I don't know what else to call them. And so I end up highlighting the inside edges of the flat areas, the large flat spaces. And I may go back and try to do some kind of subdued edge highlighting on the raised plastic card strips, because there's a lot of edges, but I just didn't think I'd be able to pull it off with the airbrush and not make it look like the entire strip of plastic was highlighted gray. And so I just ended up doing the recessed areas. And then here I'm doing the top of the Flamestorm sponson, which actually for rules purposes it's actually just a twin linked heavy flamer for the Aries. And here I'm just spraying German gray on the tire top edge of the side armor piece. And here we go. Moment of truth. First pulls, nice and clean. Here, if you see, you can kind of see the top edge of this bleeds. That's kind of rough right there. So that kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. I'm probably not going to try to fix it by hand, because I'll probably just mess it up even worse. I really love painting these dozer blades. I think they look great with the hazard stripes. Hopefully you guys like it too. There we go. Here I'm just finishing up painting Vallejo Model Air gun on the cannon. And actually what I did is I kind of did I guess you could call it pre-shading. I did not take the paint all the way to the edge of the cannon. So the black primer is basically bleeding through around the edge of the cannon. So I'm kind of, I guess you could call that pre-shading or pre-weathering. You know, so it's already got that sooty black look on the end of it, which I'll probably add to a little bit, but I decided just, you know, why not take the metal paint all the way to the end and leave some of the black primer coming through. And well, I get lucky here, and none of the tape pulls off. Get nice clean edges. You can kind of see the gray highlights there on the top of the armor there. So that looks good. And then I go and get my little tweezers and start taking off the masking tape for the yellow. And the color scheme, now you can start to see it come out. Which I really like the black and yellow. Now on the back of this model, if you actually look really closely, the yellow, I think it's the left rear section there, just didn't really get a good coat. I'm debating whether trying to go back over it. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not a award-winning painter, and then right there I didn't quite get the yellow all the way to the edge, so I might have to go back there by hand. It depends on whether the little frag assault launcher armor plates from the Land Raider Crusader kit, if they cover that, then I won't worry about it. See that section there, really if you get a good look at it, the yellow is not as good a coat as it should have been. It's not very even, but we might leave it that way. So far, oh, there we go. There's our first little square pulled off. So I'll probably go back and make that part of the weathering or battle damage and just paint it black or metal to show some wear and tear there on the armor. And here's just kind of a shaky, I'm using the webcam. It doesn't like quick motion, but trying to give you guys a good overview of the entire model with all the base coats down. So you can see that one edge, that corner turned white because the paint pulled off. And there's one other small square on the other side that pulled off. And there's the Cromlech split dozer blades I'm using as the recoil blades. I actually have to order another set of those because my dog ate one. So well, he didn't eat it, but he destroyed it. I wasn't very happy about that. So hope you guys stay tuned for part 2 when we get into the detail painting and the weathering. So hope to see you guys for the next video, and I want to thank everybody that subscribed recently and is still watching my videos. Thanks a lot.